Here's the little ones. I left them out
Okay.
because I separate them a little bit, especially when you're feeding. Let's just see if we got any donations. Oh, there we go. There we go. You see, that's...
Look at that way, Wolf.
There we go. And we sell them at the front desk, so people really love just, they can get the eggs in the morning, and you know, they're not coming from the store.
Very cool.
So these are 4 we just got last week, and a couple weeks ago. Oh, they love the cameraman, for sure. For sure. This is a Transylvanian breed with this bald neck. Some people think that there's something wrong with it. No, that's the way they are. And they're great egg layers. Yeah. They're known for laying eggs. They're super.
Cool.
And the chickens become like family members. I know that sounds sort of crazy, but they become friends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they follow you around. They're very personable. And so we have automatic feeders and automatic watering for them, so they've always got something, and if that's not enough, then they'll peck something off your toes.
That's right.
And we've got their night spot, got spots for them to roost, and we don't overcrowd them.
Right.
We've got 7 of them. I mean, we just came from another property that had a smaller area for them than this, and they had 26 in there, and I just thought,
too many.
No. They're much happier. You want them to come out, and the guests love them too. The children come out. They just love the children. They're here. They're ready to open the door at 8 o'clock in the morning to let them out. This is all new. This is where the road originally came up.
Okay.
Of course, there were so many materials that we had to bring in that I had to build a road, and we started it down there, and they brought it up. So everything you see here was planted in the last 2 years.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You look behind you, this is Cupeniosis. We have 5 of these as well. And these are from Australia. And this Cupeniosis and the Bachichiton, they're very similar locales. And you look at this, we planted this. It was like they were super happy right off the bat. And I know they may not look happy because they've got these undulating leaves, but these undulating leaves are normal.
Okay.
It's, and you can see you don't have to be an expert. You look at this. This tree is really happy. We do have a lot of succulents, and you can see some of these cacti. When we planted them over there, we just cut them off with a machete. You let them sit for about 2-3 months so that they dry out. That's the trick.
Okay.
Then you dig a little hole, put them in the hole, and then you add water. And what happens is the cactus comes to life. It says, "Hey, I want water. I want to reestablish myself."
So literally for months you just let it dry out.
Just let it dry out.
Kind of to forget from where they came from and bring them to the new place?
Say that again?
Kind of like to forget where they came from and bring them to the new place?
Yeah. And I'll show you another trick that you may think is crazy, and I certainly thought it was crazy. You can see, another trick you can do is take the cactus, and this sounds incredible. People will not believe this, but take a cactus and put it in the ground horizontally. Just dig a little bit of a trough. See what happens? That one there is horizontal, and that one over there is horizontal. And so that one gave us 4 cactus, and this one gave us 5.
Wow.
And I think over there you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
5, 6 coming off of that one.
Oh,
over
cool.
there. And so these elements of nature, they're just absolutely amazing. Yeah. Susan and I, we were in Guadalajara in Main Park, and there are beautiful tabachines there, the tree that I showed you previously. And so it was a time of year where the pods fell to the ground, and I thought, wow, these trees are so beautiful. I put a couple of these pods, I snuck it in my pocket. We walked out of the park. We brought them back home here, and we planted the seeds. And lo and behold, in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, things started springing up. I was so happy. I'm there like, oh my God, this is working. And then I realized they were just tomatoes. So I pulled out the tomatoes, put them aside, and I just kept waiting. And then in another 3-4 weeks, up came a little shoot. Mm-hmm. And I realized, okay, this is looking like the tree we want to have. So I had it in a little, like a 1 gallon, 4 liter container. And just to keep the animals, because this is a little bit of a paradise here, so animals come at night, just to keep them away, I had them in the tree in a little black cage. And so one day, I take the covering off the tree, the little black cage, I'm watering it. And then someone calls me to the front door, and I left the cage off the tree. I come back like 3-4 minutes later, and the chickens have eaten the tree. I was so sad. It was ridiculous. But then the agronomist came, Nacho, he's a really nice guy. He said, no, just be calm. Don't get upset. Don't get upset. You'll see. Give it a couple months, it'll come back. And that tree, now I'm more experienced.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving it unguarded.
Yeah.
It's down there. So it came back, and you can see
Oh,
it.
and it's one in the wire there?
In the wire, yeah. And the tree has got a name. Roberto.
Roberto.
Robbie. Because last year I had 2 friends named Robbie die. So this Robbie is in memory of my friends. The other thing that we do is when we plan on planting a tree, you can see that we create a little circle there for it, and we put very high nutrient soils in there. And we typically put in a few worms as well. And then we let it sit. It's important to let it sit because the soils, they talk to each other, the plants talk to each other, they have to settle down. I know that sounds sort of esoteric, but it's true, it's been proven. So when we planted that from the 1-gallon container, right away, they were super happy. But we left that spot prepared for, I'm gonna say, about 5 or 6 months before we planted it. Nature planted this tree here. In fact, look, there's a junior coming up down there. This is a jacaranda. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be fantastic. I find that trees that just plant themselves, they're the most successful. Absolutely. This one here, we talked about the pirul up there, right? It's the red pepper tree. So when you go to a store and you get the combination of the peppers in the pepper grinder, there's black, there's white, and there's red. This is the red.
Yeah,
These
you
guys
see it
right in
there.
here. Right in here. That's the red pepper, right in there. So that's when you get that ripe, that's what that is. It's more subtle than the black or the white.
Well, that's a pretty impressive garden you got going on here.
Yeah.
And the chickens and
The wood shop.
the wood shop was, I mean, you're definitely going to have some people that are going to be very jealous of that wood shop. I had friends that are going to look at that.
My dad
and they're going to be like,
yeah.
oh my God, like that's my dream, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, there's kind of a theme here, right? Like we were in Mexico City and we literally stayed at what we considered a museum. Like it was this 18th century original, you know, the original walls were from the 18th century and then they eventually built and added on, but there's so much history in this building, like with art that they still had from, I don't even know how old, but like we are literally in a museum. And now we're here and we're literally, I mean, Guanajuato in itself is almost like a museum because it's like a painting and we're sitting in this magical garden. And I could just envision myself spending time here, like again, reading a book, just like not on my phone,
Right.
just like disconnecting and taking all this in. But now that we've been in the inside or the outside, Daniela, what are you excited about?
I'm excited to go see what's in there.
Yeah.
What
Where we're gonna
the
stay,
room
right?
look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Let's go see.
staying here and where you're going to sleep is important too.
That is important.